they present.
Just how important is this last year for you guys? Obviously, the points matter, the standings do, but in terms of just kind of making those final adjustments here.
You want to go in with a clear idea of what your game is. You aspire to that standard every single game. Recent history with our team would say it's absolutely not important at all. So right around this time, 2 years ago, we were in the middle of losing 4 straight, and last year we went 2-7-1 in the same stretch. And I think we came into Toronto-Montreal instead of Montreal-Toronto, lost both games. And it's all about your standard. Do the players understand the game that you're trying to play? And then we want to try to achieve that every night. When you fall short of it, you're growly. But then you just move on to the next day.
What was your reaction when management told you were getting Brad Marchand?
Well, I was a little surprised to hear his name came up. It was quick to the tight deadline. It was about probably a half hour before it got fired out. Sat there and thought we could fit him in somewhere. And that's a good thing. And we sat, to credit to Bill Zito and his group, and I understand why we would talk about Brad. But the criteria of what we were looking for going back to Seth Jones, we felt we needed a right-handed defenseman, especially if he could be mobile. And then we needed penalty killers, and we bring in Sturm. And that's never talked about, the fact that Marchand and Bergeron were maybe the elite penalty killing duo in the league. So it just fit for what we needed, and some excitement, right? So a guy that's jacked up and wired to play. We don't feel that it's a big learning curve. Well, there's no learning curve for him in terms of style of hockey and how we want to play.
It's tough to manage when you get a really good player like Marchand. Like, he's on the second unit of the power play. I'm sure he was not used to that before.
It hasn't been. It's all based on the player. He just wants to come in and be a part of it. And the heart and soul kind of gamers, especially as they get to later in their career, just give me a chance to play. A version of Eric Stahl coming in, had been a captain, had won a Stanley Cup, won an Olympic gold, won all this. #1 power play guy, and he was a fourth-line center who killed penalties for us at the end and loved coming to the rink every single day. We added a real good player, for sure. But the biggest benefit is you add an excited veteran guy that knows he's not playing 10 more years, right? He's coming, he's on the back nine now. And those guys cherish every day at the rink.
Was long-term fatigue an area of focus for you this season? And when I mean long-term, I mean because the last 2 off seasons were cut short for good reasons.
No, I mean anything that we did this year wasn't related to last year. It was related to what we went through this particular year, because our fitness numbers at training camp were better than the year before. We expected about a 5 or 10% drop and didn't get any. So these guys train hard. We've got an unusual schedule. I know that everybody does with the 4 nations, but we go to Finland, 14 sets of back-to-back, which really aren't an issue in this league. It's the rested-tired ratio that's the real problem. If you're under than the rested-tired ratio, you got a real problem. Or you just have an adversity that you have to deal with that half the league doesn't. So we've managed that. We went I think from the out of December, from December to the 4 nations break, we had 5 team practices. And then we've had 2, I believe, since then. So practice time has been a bit of a challenge for us. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. We're taking it, right? We will take fatigue if we can have another season like the last 2. Nobody cares.
On that subject, are you going to start to manage Bobrovsky a bit?
Oh, that started at the start of the year, so maybe a better answer to your question was not for the players, but our goal was to keep Sergei under 55 this year, and we're going to be able to do that. I think I credit Robbie Tallis for this, because he schedules this stuff. I think we flipped 1 game on him this year, and it was because his wife was having a baby, so we had to make a change in the rotation. That we have not come off rotation for our goaltender the entire year, so we wanted him under 55. I think we're going to sit around. He's at 49, so he's going to sit almost right on that.
Paul, I'm just asking this because you have so many experiences in the NHL. When a team is on the rise, they're playing for something to gain. and when they arrive a little bit, they're for the first time kind of playing with something to lose. How does a team learn how to handle the pressure of that situation? How long does it take before they feel comfortable in a place where they don't worry as much about losing something and continue to try to game things?
I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is, because you never really know when the team believes it's arrived. So we got up 3-0 against Edmonton last year. I think the pressure shifted to us, actually, because at that point Edmonton almost had nothing to lose. But by the time we got to Game 7, I think the pressure switched back, because that was a really cool thing, and then it came off us a little bit to get to Game 7. Let's just go. Yeah, it's a hard thing to stay where you're at when you get to be in a team that you think is contending. It's a bigger challenge to go from being a good team to being a great team.
A week ago, I did a piece on Pascal Vincent.
Ah, yeah, Passy.
And he said, call Paul Maurice. I said, Paul's not taking my call.
No.
He said, if you call and tell him you want to talk about me, he'll take your call.
That would be true.
So his team is first overall in the AHL. Does that surprise you at all?
No.
And what makes him, he just raved about
He's
you.
unique. He is truly unique. He is what I would consider like a new age coach, but it doesn't, how do I explain this to you? So I didn't know Pascal Vincent at all, and I went into Winnipeg, and what I firstly, if you ask the man a question, he's going to pause, and then he's going to give you a really good, concise answer. It's not going to be 10 minutes long like my answer to this one. It'll be exactly what he's think. It's well thought out, and he will be convicted. He believes it. And then the next best part of that, if he doesn't know, that's exactly what he's going to say, and then he goes and he does a whole lot of work to find out. So his strength is he certainly understands the game, because he works at it and does the video and preps, and he knows everybody's systems, and he knows the technical part of the game, which we all have to have as a foundation. But his true strength is he can be really hard on a player and love them at the same time, and they will feel that. He's very convicted into what is right and wrong. So there's no ambiguity in his team on the accountability or the threshold that we're supposed to play at. But while he's driving his team to do that, he cares about the players. And I felt that, really sensed that with Patrick Laine. Mm-hmm. Really developed a relationship with him. Not in a, okay, I want to be your friend casual. It's I love you, I care about you, and I want to get you to a better place. And he, that's who he is as a person. That's his core wiring and his personality. So I always thought with Pascal that's where coaching is going. That he was ahead of the curve on that, and he was ahead of it because he didn't have to invent it. He didn't have to create that identity. It's who he is as a man. Yeah, I got lots of time for that guy, and I would have taken your call.
I'll remember that next time. So if you didn't know him, is it those ingredients, those characteristics that made you want to hire him?
Well, for sure, there was exactly that. I didn't know him, but it was I came in half of the season, and the way that worked is, I mean, I think every coach has some strengths and weaknesses. So I don't think you should fire a whole staff necessarily. I was only coming in on, when I went into Winnipeg, I went in on a half-year deal. It was kind of like, we'll go in there and see if we like working with each other, for Kevin and I. So it was the same with the staff, and yeah, by the end of the year, I wanted to work with the guy. So I thought he had a bunch of things that I didn't have. Like he taught me that you didn't have to be old crusty all the time, that you could actually get to know players and get to know people and have a connection with them, but still maintain those accountability standards, still kind of stay hard, but it's okay to love your players. So I learned that from him.
And it sounds like you guys are brothers from a different mother.
Sure, I was going to make a joke about how much better looking he is than me, but I think I still got more hair than he does. Maybe a different father.
Did he get a raw deal in Columbus?
No, he got an unbelievable opportunity in work experience No, that was a gift to him. Doesn't feel like it when you get fired, right? You just feel like the world's against you and you don't have I don't think he has a chance there to win, but that's not, he had, I mean, that was difficult a situation as you can come into. And where that program was, we've all been through it. The Florida Panthers been through it. Every team in the league has been at the kind of at the bottom of the trough where you're just starting to build and become really strong. And no, the lessons he learned there are a gift to him. They will make him a great coach. It's the best thing that could have ever happened to him.
He'll be
Goaltender
back.
tonight, Coach? Goaltender.
Vanacek plays tonight. Did you want?
He'll be back